You know, I've often been asked about why I went to Syria, and I really went to Syria for two reasons. First, I have a neighbor who's Syrian, my next door neighbor. And he said, I'd like you to come to Syria and meet my family. And there are over 6,000 biblical sites in Syria. So I thought, this would be great. I'd love to go see Syria. The second thing is I went there to see if I could work with the churches there to do what's called the Peace Plan, which is our global peace plan, P-E-A-C-E. We never go into detail on this. It's promote reconciliation. E is equip leaders. A is assist the poor. C is care for the sick. And E is educate the next generation. And we've been testing the prototype of this peace plan for 4 years. Promoting reconciliation, equipping leaders, assisting the poor, caring for the sick, educating the next generation. In the last 4 years, I've sent out over 7,500 of my members on their own. It's like the Peace Corps in many ways, only it's church-based, going out to 68 countries. These people spend their own money and time to do this. So when I went to Syria, I went to get information on could we do it with churches there. When I was there, a couple things happened. The president of the country heard I was in the country. He said, oh, Rick Warren's in the country. I'd like to meet him. So he invited me. What am I supposed to do? Say no? I didn't go to see him. I certainly wasn't on a political trip. I certainly wasn't a diplomat or a delegate. I'm a pastor. And I just happened to be in the country and got a request from the office of the president, would you come meet me? So I went and met him, went to whatever their office is, and we talked and basically talked about education, talked about the peace plan, talked about student exchange. You certainly don't have to agree with everybody to talk, and that's that whole thing of treating with civility. And so then what happened is it got controversial because the Syrian government put out a statement that basically said, Rick Warren backs the government, blah, blah, blah. Well, I didn't say that at all. And the first guy who reported it said, oh, now you said all this stuff. And I wrote him an email and said, no, I didn't say that. He said, well, I'll look forward to seeing the videotape of that thing. In other words, he didn't believe me. I'm going to check the videotape and see what you said. I said, there is no videotape. The next thing he does is he goes on YouTube and finds a tape of me walking around being taped by a home movie camera in a market by a home movie guy who'd put a movie up on YouTube. He goes, oh, see, you did have a tape. And he's called me a liar. Well, I wasn't lying. The fact is, it wasn't taped. A video camera of me walking around with a bunch of pastors in a market is not the same thing as a videotape of a camera of a meeting with the president. And what they did is at the meeting of the president, at the end, they do, and you do this with every president I've ever met with, you have a photo op. And they bring the press in, and they take a picture. And he saw that picture of me standing there, and he thought, oh, you must have a video. So you lied about it. No, I didn't lie about it. You didn't do your due diligence.